Welcome to North Georgia Now Today. Today, you know, this is our 4th week of No Bill Sinyard. And he said, tell y'all he misses you, he loves you, he wishes he was here, but he has this other job in the summer that's very, very demanding. So he is out doing his other job. And that means I have captured an ETC employee, Miss Jennifer Danner, or as Freddie Brackett lovingly calls her, Jennifer Bandanner. So there you go. Jennifer's from up in the basin, and she brings a little bit of the north. I bring a little bit of the south. We meet here in the middle and we talk about things going on in your community. Today is going to be about your community, but we're going to reach a little further than your community. We're going to go way down, kind of toward Fayetteville, Peachtree City, somewhere down there. You know where that airport is in Atlanta? There's this big airport, and it's probably one of the busiest in the world, and we're going to talk to a pilot who flew those skies for a long, long time, and I bet you every time he got in a plane, he took the Lord with him, because if you're flying out of Atlanta, you better be on a prayer. So it is a big, big airport, and we're going to talk about a pilot and a preacher. Now that's a combination, isn't it?
It's the morning show.
It's the morning show. But if I were going down with 600 of my best friends, I'd want a preacher with me. I think it's a good idea. I think it's a good idea. Today is going to be fast and furious. If you think I usually move fast, today we are out of here and going at it. Now, the first thing I have to do, and if we don't do anything else today, we're going to ask you, I need a close-up of this. This is Miss Mary Anderson. As we speak, she is in surgery in Cleveland. She is the dear, dear lady, wife of Grady Anderson, Shirley Singleton's mom. Many of you know her story. You met her here on the program. They have been married 63 years. Today, Mary is facing a very, very serious surgery. She had lung cancer. They removed part of her lung. They did a PET scan on Monday. They possibly found more cancer. She has a problem because her gallbladder shut down in the middle of all this. She's facing everything you can possibly face. Then her gallbladder shuts down, and they're like, okay, she's lost almost 60 pounds. She has really, really had a tough 3 months, but she never has lost her faith. She is ready to get through this. She wants to be back in the loop with us. And you know, we took her to see a lady who today is celebrating a birthday. Took her to see Loretta Lynn. She'd never seen her live. So this fall, Grady and Mary went to a concert, and we got them second row tickets, and it was awesome. We had so much fun, and I'm so glad they did that.
They're such great people.
They are such great people,
yeah.
and we are approaching the anniversary of the date. Now, you've been working on a little something, and it's a surprise, so we won't tell Ron and Shirley about it, so y'all don't watch today.
Yeah.
But it is a surprise with a very special message in it. They have been hit by about as much as any family could be hit by. They lost their 3-year-old child to a drunk driver. They have had a really, really hard time moving on because he was their only child, and it's just, there's this huge void in their life. And from that, now they're facing this issue with Mary. So Shirley went from being caregiver to Brady to now caregiver of her mom. She has stepped into this and is doing everything her mother needs. I mean, it's just almost like a plan that was designed for Shirley to be there for her mom.
Yeah.
She is there every day, 24/7, doing everything she can. And she asked me this morning at 7 o'clock, she said, please, please, pray for Mama. Please, every single one of you, please pray for her. Mary is the kindest, sweetest, most positive, awesome, awesome lady. And I'll bet you today, if Mary had her way, she went into surgery with full makeup and her hair done. She's like me. She's not going anywhere. When they tell you, you can't wear nail polish, oh, forget it. You know, so Mary still has that kicking attitude that is so, so cool. And I just adore her. So please, please pray for her. I don't know of anybody in the world who deserves good things more than they do. They have been amazing to this community.
They have, you know, and it's, Coach Singleton was, you know, he was my teacher in school, so that's how I got to know him. And then when he met his wife, and then we just immediately fell in love with her.
And they only dated for 17 years.
Yeah.
Ridiculous, you know.
And
they weren't going to rush it.
No. And we all fell in love with her, and we were so tickled for him. And then you get to know her family, and like you said, I mean, everything that they've been through on top of who they were already, they're just amazing. And you meet them, that whole family, and you instantly love them. So They're special.
Well,
Very special.
today, please pray for Mary and Grady Anderson. Pray for Ron and Shirley. Shirley is an only child. She is her mother's full support team. And thank goodness she did choose a man like Ron Singleton to marry, because he is that guy. He has had to step back and let Mama be the focus of their whole family now. And Shirley's staying with Mom and Dad, and Ron's staying at home, and they're just back and forth.
Yeah.
It has been a tough 3.5 months.
Yeah.
But they still have that positive, gonna get her done attitude, and I think that's really, really special.
Well,
so.
it is. It's it's very, and I hate to use the word inspiring, but you can't help
I love
but.
the word inspiring.
Well, I mean, considering the tragedy and everything,
Well,
but,
they can inspire others by making it through this.
yeah.
though.
Well,
yeah.
and they have. I mean,
Yeah.
people. I mean, myself, I haven't lost anybody close to me, and I don't have any children. But my oldest brother was sick, and we thought we were going to lose him like a month ago, and that was the first time, other than like my grandmother, people that what's going to happen.
Right.
And you think, gosh, how do people get through that? And then you look at people like Ron and Shirley, and
They
you're
did
like,
it.
there is hope in the morning. There is, and I remember seeing them in the grocery store, and poor little Ron, bless her, you couldn't even look at him without both of us bursting out in tears. To now they're, coming back around.
Right.
They love Brady just like, they did the first day
Right.
they held him. But, it's inspiring. There is
I think
another
the
way.
most amazing thing about them is they gave everything to this child. I mean, in the short 3 years he had, he went to Niagara Falls, he went to the Grand Ole Opry, he went to every zoo within a 5,000-mile range. I mean, the kid has been everywhere. They focused their life on making his life the best possible.
And they did.
And in 3 years, he jammed in more than, and they've had these what ifs. It's God's will, and why, we can't even ask that question.
Yeah.
But every time we go to his gravesite and we're with them, they are a little stronger. They are a little stronger. And they are approaching the point in their life that we will be sharing Brady's story with you. We will be sitting down with them for an interview one day. One day. We've talked about it, and Ron said we really want to do this. We are approaching the anniversary of Brady Singleton's death on April the 29th. People who had been drinking all day long chose to make a bad decision and left this little boy in a creek to drown. So we are asking you to pray for their family for many, many reasons, but today, please pray for Mary Anderson, and pray that she just makes it through the surgery. Make it through the surgery, and then let's deal with that cancer later.
Where's she at?
In Cleveland. What's the name of that hospital?
Bradley?
No, is there
There's
another?
another one down there.
Yeah, and I can't remember the name. But
Bradley's
anyway,
the big one, but there is another
well, she's
one
in
there.
the big one, I think.
Okay.
So, but hopefully the surgeon will get this taken care of. They're hoping it can be laparoscopic, which is a piece of cake for most people. But when you're down to where she is, it's really, really tough. Now, we have another dear friend who has faced every kind of surgery known to man. Hans Ruffert has been the poster child for Let's Teach the Doctors Something. We're going to be joined by one of his dearest friends in just a second. We're going to talk about something happening in Fannin County, but I've got some birthdays I'm going to get out of the way quickly. Judy Bogus, happy birthday to you. One of my mama's dearest friends, Miss Kaylin McClure, happy birthday to you. And Eddie Fountain, happy birthday to you. He's 49 plus about 5. There you go. And a very special birthday that goes all the way to Hurricane Mills, Tennessee. Miss Loretta Lynn is celebrating the birthday after you're 75. So there you go. There you go. Happy birthday to all of you. And right now, we're going to take a break. We are going to move quickly today. When we come back, if you don't know Blue Ridge, I suggest you get to know Blue Ridge. Yes. There's a wonderful little shop down there called Out of the Blue. And when you walk in, you feel like you've arrived at home.
Oh,
it's a really good atmosphere, as is much of downtown Blue Ridge. So when we come back, we're going to talk about the Taste of Blue Ridge that happens this weekend. We're back. Fast day. Okay, you can get in your car, and within 15 minutes, you can be in Blue Ridge.
Yep.
And you can quickly get to an event. Now, Sarah, tell me about this. This is the Taste of Blue Ridge?
Oh, that's right. This is the 4th annual.
Let me see that poster.
Got 4 in a row.
Okay.
This is our fundraiser, our annual fundraiser for the Humane Society. And as I say, every year it gets bigger and bigger and better and better, and it's such a fun event. This year we've managed to get 30 restaurants. We'll be having a lot of wine vendors there, live music, silent auction, live auction. It doesn't matter if you're working the event or just attending the event. It's one of the most fun
It's gonna
things
be
we
fun,
do.
yeah.
Every year it's such a success. It gets bigger and bigger, and this year we had to do it in a new venue. In the past we've always done it at the Riverstone Medical Center, which is one of the largest facilities we have in Blue Ridge, but this year we're doing it at an outdoor area, and we've got a big circus tent that's 120 by 40.
Wow.
So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're looking forward to it.
Okay, tell us a little bit of the food that we might sample there.
Well, all the restaurants are participating.
Would there be barbecue?
There'll be barbecue. There'll be Harvest on Main, Christy Lee's, L&L Beanery, even, you know, restaurants probably from down here in Gilmer County as well. And we'll have an array of wines, both local from Crane Creek and in Young Harris, and you know, all around the world. So it's gonna be a real nice event.
Cost is?
It's $30 in advance and $40 at the door, and we expect about 500 people.
That's awesome.
This is very well attended, and as I say, last year they raised, I always say we, but I don't want to confuse it with my business. It's a huge effort of volunteers from the Humane Society, and the idea is to create a no-kill facility in our county, which is desperately needed, and you know, to promote spay and neuter, adoptions, foster homes.
I hope Angela's not
education.
watching, because every time she sees a dog that needs a
I
home, she
know.
brings it
I
home,
know.
and I'm like,
Sweet
okay,
babies.
enough.
I know, we're always, in these counties, we're always afraid when we get home we'll have an extra one.
Oh yeah,
You know.
we have 3 now.
Yeah.
There have been over 30 adoptions, both for dogs and cats, this year so far.
That's great.
It is great. They have a thrift store that's just doing extremely well.
That's what I heard. I've
Really
not been
well.
in there
Now,
yet.
a lot of volunteers.
Lots. None of this stuff could ever get done without
Right.
the volunteers, and these people are great.
Right. Is there a phone number people can call if they have
There
questions?
is, and I've got to look down here to read it too, because I wouldn't know it. It's 706-632-5224. See, I don't need to know that number because they're always calling me.
That's right. But before we throw you out of here, I want to talk to you a minute about our friend Hans Rufert.
Right.
Okay. He is doing well. He's in a ton of pain.
He is.
He is resting comfortably.
As much as possible, he is. He is still out in Houston at MD Anderson, which is his second home.
It's funny because when you said he escaped and watched a movie yesterday, all I could think of is Hans in all this pain watching Tyler Perry's new movie that doesn't release until April 22nd. And I'm thinking, this man could not sit and laugh through this movie.
No, I'm sure it was something science fiction.
Yes, it had to be.
Because his life is almost like
Yes,
science
yes,
fiction.
yes. He has honestly been a miracle from day one.
He is.
You know, his sister passed away from cancer. Within 3 months, he was diagnosed with cancer. He is now 4 years into this.
5
years.
plus, yes.
Okay, so he made that 5-year mark.
He did.
That is the mark everybody looks for, and you say, I'll be okay. Now he has no stomach now. He's a chef with no stomach.
That's right.
Now that's not fair. You
No,
know?
there's nothing fair about what Hans has done except for the inspiration that he's provided for everybody else.
Absolutely.
The strength and courage this man has is a miracle every day. And so whenever you're feeling blue or you think you're having a tough day, you really need to get a few things into perspective.
Oh, yes.
To have the surgery that he just went through, as I say, was like science fiction. And I saw pictures of the procedure, not with Hans in the photographs, but the pictures of the procedure, and it was just, it's unfathomable to me that anybody could even dream this up. But they have completely removed his stomach, and he's figuring everything out, swallowing and stuff like that. I don't know how soon you'll see him back at the Woodbridge, but you'll see him back in back in Gilmer. And
He's so funny. He said, "Can I call in?" And I said, "Yeah, whenever you feel like it." You know.
He really wanted to know when I was going to be here. Yeah. Because usually I'm here with him.
Yeah, I know.
And we both have on our little vests, you know.
Well, once again, we want to encourage everybody. April 16th, 2011, downtown Blue Ridge.
It's the most fun.
Yeah, and it's a great effort. heart.
It's a win-win situation. Everybody has a good time, and the money that's raised is, like I say, providing a no-kill shelter in our county.
That's right.
That's excellent.
There you go. Let's give the phone number one more time if you would like to contribute to, or if you want to be involved in, 706-632-5224. There you go. I love this poster. Whoever designed that was pretty cool. And here's my baby bird that reminds me of Mama and her love for feeding the baby birds. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome. Thanks for having us.
And this came from out of the blue in Blue Ridge. There you go. Come in and visit with Sarah and get to know some of the great things she offers. There you are. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to be flying. We're going to be flying high today and fast. So here we go. I don't know if we're going to be flying at 36,000 feet or not. Maybe. We'll see. We'll be back shortly. Okay, we're at Hartsfield. We're on approach to leave. We are not coming. We are going, and we're going to go fast. We're going to talk to an airplane pilot, Captain Don Barron, who happens to also be a pastor.
Yes.
That is a very strange combination. I'm sorry. Tell me a little bit about, this book, and why did you do this?
All right. I've had probably the most exciting life anybody could possibly have. Ever since I've been a little kid, my dad taught me to fly when I could barely reach the rudder pedals. And my mother, on my mother's side of the family, there were 40 ministers when I was born. And on my dad's side of the family, there's 7 airline pilots.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't know which way to go.
Wow.
I got all excited about both of them. My mother taught me how to trust God. In fact, she believed that as we trust the Lord, then He directs our paths, as Proverbs 3:5 tells us. And so she taught me that way. And my dad said, well, you can do anything. You can fly a plane if you like. And so he taught me to fly. I got all excited because I would go and cut my teeth on Sunday morning on the pine pews of the church, and then I would go out to the airport, and my dad would have a flying circus out there with all things happening. I was cutting my teeth on the stick of a J3 Cub.
Wow.
So what an exciting life, and that's one thing that inspired me to write the book. As I became an airline pilot after having pastored a church for 8 years, and I didn't realize that I'd even become a pilot with the airlines. But
Now, who did you fly for?
Trans World Airlines.
TWA. Oh, I flew them many times in the 60s and 70s.
Oh, it was quite an airlines.
Yeah.
We miss it.
Might have been your pilot.
Yeah, that was when we had first class, and first class was first class.
Oh, you got that right.
Today, first class is high price, nothing. It's a new
That's right.
market. Now, your book is funny, inspirational, serious, and a little bit of an emotion going on with about everything you can think of.
That's right.
Happy, a lot of happiness in here.
Yes.
Okay, your daughter's book. Introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your book.
Okay, I'm Tammy Melton, and interestingly enough, I started Legacy Ministries, large part due to my dad passing on the legacy, and I wrote a book, Loving God with All 5 Senses, and it is, it can be used in a group Bible study. I call it a 6-week journey to intimacy with your Creator, or it can be read individually. Each sense represents something in the spiritual. So it's set up with each chapter is for one day, and there's 5 chapters in each unit. So day 1's how we're made in that sense. Day 5 is what it represents in the spiritual. Day 2 is how misuse of that sense in the natural will hinder that in the spiritual, and then it sort of walks up. So it's been used for women's Bible studies. It's been used for co-ed Sunday school, or like I said, individuals.
Okay. How did you sit down one day and you just decided you wanted to do this? What is your vocation? What do you normally do? What do you do for a living?
I'm a Christian speaker, and
Okay.
and I'm the founder, like I said, of the Legacy Ministries. We have a Legacy Ministries Equipping Center that's not a church, but it brings the denominations together, and believers from across the denominations are trained there in whatever God's called you to do. So
So you just said something that really tickles me to death, because I grew up in the big Baptist church, but then we lived in areas where I might go to a Methodist church, a Church of God, a church,
Right.
whatever. It didn't matter. I never ask what denomination. I'm a Southern Baptist, but if we lived near another church and I had to walk to
Right.
church, I'd go to that church. And I found quickly here, sometimes those borderlines come up.
Yes, that's a big
And
reason
that-
why we started the Legacy
Yeah, that was
Center.
kind of strange to me because I
Yeah.
didn't know that there were borders at church. I thought God showed up at all of them. I thought he did.
Well, he does.
I thought he did.
But he shows up a lot when we all come together. But you asked, the question was, how did I come to write it? And for me, I was actually fasting and praying for God's direction for the ministry. But instead of that, I was, during that time, wow, I just want to be with you, Lord. And out of that came in my spirit, Lord, I want to love you with my whole being. I want to love you with all 5 senses. And I heard that still small voice say, yes, you do, and you're going to write a book about it.
Wow. Wow. Now, how long did it take you to write this book?
Like 3 years, but I had a year and a half where it was on the back burner. So he pulled it back up and
Okay.
we finished it.
And Daddy took 10 years, but you really weren't
he started
actively-
first, and then
Okay.
This book has a lot of great experiences I've had while piloting with TWA. And one of them was a hijacking. I was
Oh,
the
wow.
first, in the jet age, I was the first captain to be hijacked on TWA.
Wow.
Where-
And,
where
and
did-
there's a chapter in this book called Hijack.
Okay.
And it tells you all about it.
Were you over U.S. Air when this happened?
Yes, I
Okay.
was, and we had actually we had 2 agents, federal agents, transporting a prisoner on our airlines, and to avoid the red tape that it take to go through it all, they just dressed him up like a civilian, just a businessman, and they didn't think he could do anything, but. They let him get up to keep from tipping the hand that he was a prisoner, federal prisoner. They let him get up and go back to the aft lavatory. Well, while he was going back, he was smarter than they were. He told the flight attendant as he passed her back in the galley, you go tell the captain to turn this airplane south-southwest to Hermosillo, Mexico, and the moment we realize that you're not carrying out this command, we won't hesitate to blow it up. And we have a man sitting in the first class with a pistol who's going to shoot anybody that comes out of the cockpit but you. And so this kind of a message went back and forth. I was a new captain. This was back in 1967. I had just, in fact, this was one of my first trips as captain. And I had to make the decision. And the company said, well, I called him and told him what was going on, and the man was still back there. Of course, he never came up to the front, but he kept conveying messages back and forth. And anyway, the book tells all the details about it.
You're
It's
not
really-
going to tell us all that.
That's by the book.
You're going to make you buy this book.
well, we ended up landing at Las Vegas, and all the details are in here. I think
Okay.
you'll really be excited about it.
Wow. You know, comfortable flyer, probably not. I get that, you know, I grip and I'm like, and I, for some weird reason, every time I flew to Alaska recently, I sat by a pilot. And the first time I sat by a pilot, it was right after the 2 pilots had really messed up and landed a plane somewhere it shouldn't have been landed, up in South Dakota or wherever it was. And big mouth me, I sit down next to this guy and I said, gosh, I said, well, at least flying this early in the morning, the pilot won't be drunk. And he was so funny. He said, be careful now, I'm a pilot.
Well, you know, one thing I tried to do to keep everybody really excited about flying and not scared, I don't like these trite kind of announcements. Every flight you get on, the pilot just about will say,
Same old
I
thing.
want you just to settle back and relax and enjoy your flight. Well, you know, that's sort of redundant to keep saying stuff like that. I would say, we hope you'll just settle back and relax and enjoy your flight. After all, there's no reason why both of us should be nervous. and I would always throw in those little things while I was making my announcements.
Great.
And these things are in there. A lot of those announcements are in there.
Well, you know what? I told you I never take time to read. I may read it.
Oh, you'll be glad you did.
He has a chapter about that.
Oh, good.
With the knuckles, just like you
Yeah,
said.
and it's called Folks. And the reason it is because I was transporting 57 Boy Scouts across the country, and we got over near Denver, and the weather was really bad. And instead of our radar steering us away from the thunderstorm, somebody had wired it wrong, so that as I was reading the radar, it was bringing me into the thunderstorm.
Wow.
And the plane went into violent shaking all around.
Oh, my
And
God.
I was trying to give the girls 4 bells. 4 bells is sit down right now, until we get out of this. Well, I broke every fingernail, I guess, on my hand trying to get those 4 bells done. So I thought, well, I'll just pick up the mic and talk to them as a calm captain.
Yeah.
So I picked up the mic, and the first thing I said was, folks. Immediately, I just put the thing down, and all the crew was laughing. But I got them out of there finally.
Wow.
But it was my job to bring calmness to the people. And
How
some
many
people say, well,
years?
did you ever get scared flying? Well, how can you fly 28 and a half years for an airlines and fly around the world many, many times, and with 20,000 hours of flying time, not have a few incidents now and then that would cause you to have a little bit of concern?
Would you have done anything other than flying? Now that you've done it, would you have ever chosen anything any different?
Well,
Was it?
I think the Lord chose this for me. I was a pastor of a church, very happy with it. And I was 8 years as a founding pastor of a church down in Memphis. And I felt like, well, we built it from a dozen people. The pictures are in here. In fact, I told about the 4 churches that I was a founding pastor of while flying for the airlines.
Wow.
And all of this is covered in the book.
He's going to make us buy this book. I can see this happening. I can see it. He's a good salesman.
But I was really excited because after that 4 years, our church was like the Baptist church. They would vote the pastor in. They would bring him at one end. Well, I was still only 26 years old when I resigned the church. And another church was considering me, but then when they found out I was only 26, they said, well, if he's not 35, we're not going to take him.
Wow.
So I was glad TWA opened up. They weren't so choosy about how old you were. They just thought, well, this guy will make a good pilot for us. But I felt like the Lord was working it out. And he fixed it to where I would expand my ministry by going into the airlines. And I've had a lot of opportunity to find other pilots who just needed a little encouragement now and then. And this was a great opportunity for that. I
want to read this. I'm
Go to break.
encouraged. Well, yeah, I'm a fast reader. So.
Well, that's good. I'll sign this one over to you. This is your book.
Okay, thank you.
I'm glad you promised me you'll read it because
I will
know
read
you.
this. I will read this. Because I am a scared flyer, but I also feel comfortable because as a Christian, when it ends, you're going where you're destined to go
Let me
anyway.
tell you about one of
know,
the most exciting
so.
flights I had. This was a flight from New York to Rome. And we
Not Rome, Georgia.
No. In fact, I used to fly from Rome to Athens, and the people would say, Ron,
Georgia?
where have you been this week? I said, I went from Rome to Athens. Well, that wasn't but an hour's drive. I said, hey, wait a minute. I went to the real thing.
Yeah.
But on this flight, we got out over the ocean. It was a 747, just like it's pictured on the front here. And we had 450 passengers. And I began to notice a little flicker. It was totally dark all over. And a little flicker on the left side of the airplane. And I was flying extremely north. And when I did, I thought, well, this looks like it's going to develop into the Northern Lights. And it really did. The little flicker got bigger and bigger, and finally it began the whole left side of the airplane. There were just multicolors flying from
I've
heaven
seen
down
that.
to
I've
earth.
seen it, and it's amazing.
And it danced on the wing of that 747.
Yeah.
I mean, and I got so inspired, and I called the flight attendant up, and I said, what's going on back there? She said, well, we're watching a movie, and so the shades are down. I said, pull the shades up. She said, I can't do that. If we do, we have to give back $5 to everybody who bought a movie. I said, look, this is far better than anything Hollywood could produce.
Yeah.
I said, this is the handiwork of God. And I got on the PA and I said, folks, this is your captain. I want you to open your windows and look out and see this beautiful dancing for 500 miles.
Yeah, wow.
This continued to flow and up and down and on the wings, and it was so exciting. And people were so thrilled that I didn't let them just sit and watch a movie when all of the handiwork of God was being shown.
Wow.
And to me, that's the way life has been, all the way through, everything. When I have hard problems that take me through difficulties in life, what a thrill. And this book tells about one incident, for instance, when I was told you'll never fly again. And the man who told me that was the head physician of the FAA. I had a heart problem, and I went in, and my cardiologist gave me a test on my heart. And while I was on the treadmill, my blood pressure dropped to 70/50 and began to be real unsteady. And he said, you've got to go to the hospital right now. I lost my license right there on the spot.
Oh, no.
And the way I did, my cardiologist picked up the telephone. He said, I've got a friend I want to tell this to. It was Audie Davis, who was the head FAA man in charge of all of the licensing for your pilot's license. And he said, I have Captain Barron here in my office. This is the symptoms that we found. He said, you tell Captain Barron. Now, this was the head man that signs your licenses, everybody's license. He said, you tell Captain Barron he'll never fly again. And not even a little J3 Cub. And well, you talk about it. Telling a pilot he can't fly is like telling a bird he can't fly. And my wife was sitting there when she heard all this, and she saw my reaction. She had to go outside and let the tears flow. I never thought I would fly again. But I believe in God. I believe in the healing power of the Lord. I believe in the power of the Holy Spirit to come and move. And if you surrender your life to Him, like I have done all my life in every decision, then it wasn't too long after that this very same pilot, I rode a bicycle. The Lord healed my heart. I rode a bicycle from Atlanta to Key West, Florida. And it took me two and a half weeks to do it.
Wow.
And I did it to prove that God had healed me.
Oh, wow.
And my FAA doctor that I was going to get my license restored was down in Miami. And when I got there, I said, you know how I got here? He said, Delta or Eastern? I said, Swin bike. He said, you got to be kidding. He said, that in itself ought to convince. There's a chapter, You'll Never Fly Again. This tells all the details. And I'll tell you what, you'll sit there and cry the whole time.
Wow.
As I was editing this book and going through it again to publish it, I had to do it about 4 or 5 times. And every morning I would get up and I'd read chapter after chapter, and I'd cry like a baby, like I first had heard this. So you'll be glad you got the book.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait. I'm excited.
My prayer is that people will see, I'm in the midst of writing another book, My Grace is Sufficient. And no matter what you're going through, like you talked about before, my grace is sufficient. There's the bad times and the good times, and that if your family life is on the rocks, we're a testimony that through our family and God's grace in our family, that God can bring your family together, and you can have an awesome family lineage for the Lord.
Well, one thing that happened, I went back to my chief pilot and I told him what was going on, and I said that Audie Davis, that had said I could not fly again, has signed a special license for me that I have been completely healed. And he said, oh man, you got that in your pocket? And I said, yeah. He said, okay, we have an international position open. Now I got to fly captain on international position on a 747 that I never would have done if I hadn't have had all of these things happen to me.
Wow.
So I flew the last 8 years of my career with TWA as a check airman and an international captain on the 747. And you talk about excitement in life.
Now, let me tell you something. Next week, we hope we're back to an hour and a half, and I want you to be on one day, and I want you to do the whole show. So he's inspired me. Okay, and I promise you I will read this. Now, Tammy, tell folks how they can get in touch with you to purchase your book.
Well, actually, the website is legacyministries.info. And we don't have, I'm going to do a page for his book on my website. They can contact me, and if they say, you know, we saw your interview on
North
Channel
Georgia
3,
Now
North
Today.
Georgia Now Today, and we will do a special deal if they want both, or if they just want his, or if they just want mine, whatever. And we'll be in contact with them, and they can get a signed copy, or they can get either book on Amazon.
Okay.
And they will both be
I think it would be
ready
neat if
for
they went to you
Kindle.
personally. You know, I like
you
that
can't
personal
get,
thing. Yeah.
Plus, if you go through Legacy Ministries, the proceeds go to the nonprofit ministry.
Right. And as
And
we
you get a
approach
signed
Mother's Day, Father's Day, what
There
a
you
great
go.
gift! What a great gift! So
I
there you
think
go.
that's neat, like, because you daddies are
true.
special to us girls, so,
Yeah.
hi Daddy.
Yes.
So, and I think that's really cool, y'all both, you know, ride, and when you have that bond, like you do, both spiritually and, you know, your family bonds, I just, y'all are special to us
Very
daughters.
special.
That's
Well,
all
I want
have
you to
say,
know,
so.
I've been married to the same girl for 54 years.
Awesome.
And way back when, I was just a little pastor of a church making $15 a week. When I got hired by the church, or started the church, actually, they raised me from 15 to 25 when I got married.
Wow.
And then my first child was born, they raised me to 50. My second child was born, they raised me to 75. My third child was born, they raised me to 100. Then Tammy was born.
And the caboose.
But I had told my wife, if you stick with me, we'll go places. I didn't dream that I would be an airline pilot taking her to London and Tel Aviv and all of those places.
Wow.
I didn't dream that it would ever come about, because I thought I would be a minister in a little church all of my life. But God has honored my desires to take her around the world, and wow, we've been together and thrilled to death.
Awesome.
She's here with me now and just egging me on.
I like that, Aggie. That's good. Well, we are going to take a break, and we're going to our obits. We are down to this hour show, and we've got to move quickly. So we have some more guests today, but I want to encourage them. Give your website one more time.
legacyministries.info. And I also have a blog, tammymelton.blogspot.com.
And I was going to ask you, are you on Facebook?
Yes, I am, and I'm also on oneplace.com under Sisters on Assignment. I have a audio podcast called Take 10 10-minute messages for people on the go.
There you go. There you go.
That's us.
Get in touch with her. That's us. That's us. And I promise you, I'm reading this book. We're going to take a break. We're going to our obits. And when we come back, we're going to talk seriously helping folks who have overcome cancer. I just talked about this. My child walked as a survivor last year in the Relay for Life. That will open your heart, open your mind, and understand that God does have a plan, because Angela made it through. We are approaching 2 years of her cancer diagnosis. That is amazing. So we'll be back in just a minute. It's Thursday around the world, and nowhere more than Thursday in Gilmer County do they love bluegrass music. Tonight, Ella J, this is Southeastern Bluegrass Association, Gilmer County Senior Center. It's right over here, right near Gaha. They will have a low-cost meal from Sue's Log Cabin from 5:30 to 6:30, and I can tell you they know how to cook. 6:30 guest entertainment by Nelson Thomas, and then acoustic picking from 7:30 to 9 o'clock. Y'all come, and this is from Alan Dana Henderson, so there you go. We're talking Relay for Life. It's weird that they're here, because last night I have this DVD in my car, and I put it in, and I'm listening, and it's Angela talking about the week after she walked the first time as a survivor. And she said it was really strange. She and Hans walked together. Aww. Now, Relay for Life is a big deal in Pickens County and all the other areas we serve. Guys, why are you involved, and why is it important to you?
Well, this is my third year being involved with Relay, and I am involved mostly because of my grandmother and my grandfather. My grandmother has battled cancer pretty much most of her life, and my grandfather has had different battles, and so that they are very near and dear to my heart, and I got involved because of them, and as I've gotten involved, I've met many friends and many people who also have battled this terrible disease. So.
Okay.
Well, I work for the American Cancer Society, so I get to see a lot of people that are, touch my heart. But I actually got involved originally 5 years ago because of my aunt. She battled breast cancer and she couldn't deal with it very well, and she ended up taking her own life because of that. So, and my best friend's mom had cancer, and she had a completely different outlook on it, and so I really wanted to make sure that no one else would have to deal with cancer and those words like my aunt did, and everyone could be like my best friend's mom.
I think a positive attitude, and I think Hans Ruffert says it more than anybody. There's nobody who is more positive than that kid is. Now, Cherie, why are you involved in it?
Well, my grandfather died of pancreatic cancer, and
That's one of those cancers that they're not making much progress with.
this was in 1978, so he really didn't.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
Wow.
And I just hope I can make a difference.
Yeah, yeah, and it takes everybody coming together. Now, why are you involved in it?
I'm involved just because I care. I've never had anyone in my family that's been struck by cancer or anything, or any friends, but I just like to be there, and I've met so many people and so many friends that have gone through it now.
The positive attitude. You know, the positive attitude, I think, means so much. My mother had this positive attitude, and when she had surgery, that her whole face was reconstructed, and she laughed about it and said, "Oh God, they're going to get rid of those wrinkles from me smoking." And she was so excited. And when they did that, they really did get rid of the wrinkles, you know. But she kept that positive attitude right until the end, and I think that makes such a difference. The doctors told her she had 6 months. She lasted 2 years, you know, but she was positive the whole time. So I think it makes a great difference.
It really does.
Now, when is the event and where in Pickens County?
Our event this year is May 14th and 15th. It is at Lee Newton Park, which is right where the Chamber of Commerce is. A lot of people know it by the Big Marble Festival. We have all kinds of different teams that come out. It's kind of like a little mini Marble Festival. We have teams that set up, and we have food and games and entertainment and all kinds of things to keep you busy throughout the day. And of course, we go all night. We start at 2 o'clock on Saturday, and we last until 6 o'clock in the morning because cancer never sleeps.
Right.
So we, try our best to do as much as we can in that time slot.
The Survivor's Walk has to be the most touching thing there. And I've seen it where you have the golf carts where some people can't walk, but they can ride.
Yes.
Okay, will that happen again?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We have our Survivor Lap every year, and we will never stop our Survivor Lap. That's why we do Relay. It's about our survivors. It's about celebrating another birthday for them, and that's the most important thing. And like you said, it is the most touching event of our Relay.
Now, what about luminaries? Can people still purchase those?
People can purchase luminaries up until right before the luminary ceremony. We'll have an area where people can purchase. So we'll have a lot of people from the community who aren't members of teams that are participating, and they'll come out and they can purchase luminarias then. So
Okay.
yes. Yeah.
Now, does this money stay in Pickens County as far as research?
Yes, we
Okay.
have all kinds of different programs, and Ross is actually really big with Look Good, Feel Better. And
I love that. I love that.
That has
Because
really
honestly, did you remember when I came on the air with Band-Aids? I mean, nobody could believe I did this. But I had Mohs surgery. I had Band-Aids all over my face, and I came to work. And they're like, "You're going to do this?" And I said, "Yeah." And since then, I have 6 different people who told me, "I watched you, how brave you were. I had skin cancer, and I had no idea. I went to the dermatologist." So if I saved 6 lives. Now, from that, one person told me they had melanoma. Everybody else was basal cell, which is really good because that's the good one to get, But out of that, now, when you do the Look Good, Feel Good, it does make a difference. It does make a difference.
It really changes their skin tones, their feelings.
Your hair texture changes.
Yeah, and some lose and some don't. So we show them how to put wigs on and don't be scared of them. Scarves and different ways.
We could wear a wig. We wouldn't have to wear a scarf. I wouldn't have to do this thing.
We're amazing. Our last month we facilitated a class, and we had a cancer patient who probably would have never come to the class, and someone had told her about it. She kind of heard, and she's she's had cancer for a while. She lives in a community that nobody knows that she has it. She doesn't want anyone to know.
Wow.
So she actually stepped out into the class, and when she came
wow.
in, she's like, at the end, she's like, you know what? I would have never came, but I am so glad I came.
See, I don't understand that because I'm like, when you hear that C word, I took a team of prayers with me and we prayed before my surgery. And the doctor looked and he says, does she have that entourage with her again? And I'm sure I do. Because we had prayer. I don't understand when you don't want people praying for you. That's scary.
Oh, yeah. And now
That's
it's
scary.
funny because I've made friends with these ladies, and we started in the class, and it seemed like last month I had like so many people calling me because we do the wigs. Now they're all calling because they want different styles, they want different looks. Now they're having fun with it, you know.
That is
I'm like,
great.
have fun with it. Don't be boring,
Yeah.
you know.
Do you think you could talk somebody into coming on the air and you doing a makeover for them?
We probably could.
Why don't you try that? I think that would be too cool to show the difference. And cancer took something away, but then you can give it back by just doing a little this and a little that. So
Yeah.
cool. See if you can set something up.
Okay.
Okay, the event is again when?
May 14th and 15th, and
Okay.
we start at 2 o'clock on Saturday. We've also got our survivor dinner that is coming up that is for our survivors and their caregivers. It is April 29th, which is the last Friday of this month, and we're having it at Piedmont Mountainside Hospital. So we would love to have all of our survivors from anywhere in the community to come out, because this is for them. This is about them.
Do they pre-register?
We do have an RSVP sheet. Anybody can go to the website, and we have all kinds of contact information on there.
Okay.
They're more than welcome to.
Can you give a phone number for folks who might not have internet?
706-692-6421, which is Bank of North Georgia, but I'm there all the time, and I pretty much answer the phones. So
Okay.
if you just say, I'm a cancer survivor and I want to come to dinner, you call me and say,
Awesome.
I'll be there.
And it's on April 29th.
April 29th starts at 5 o'clock. So we've got all kinds
Is
of...
Piedmont Mountainside a big sponsor?
Yes, they
Yes,
are.
they're helping with the
Okay.
dinner
They're
this
a
year.
great
gonna-
help. They have
Okay.
always been involved with Relay, and they.
And you know how hospitals get a bad rap for bad food? That hospital has great food.
They do.
They have
They
great
really
food.
do. They
So,
And we have a lot of things coming up, like a car cruise for the Merchants Association, which is next
Right,
Saturday.
it is.
Actually, the proceeds will go to the American Cancer Society.
awesome.
we have a
And if
live
you want
band,
more
so-
information on that, call Maxine at More
Yes,
Furniture.
I know. Yes.
There you go.
And I want people to know that the dinner is free for the survivors.
Yes.
You know, that's
Okay.
why we're doing it. And they can bring a family member to come as well to join them.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that way there's someone with them as
Awesome.
well. Yes. So-
Awesome. Thank you all for being here today.
Thank you for having
We
us.
did it. We made it through. I wish we had about 3 hours today because that pilot, could you spend the day with him?
Yeah, but I'd have to have tissues.
I know.
Because I'll be sitting there and I'm
she
like,
teared up and she said, and I said, uh-oh, she's
I'm not
got
a
the
good
Cherie
co-host. I'm
syndrome.
like,
No, that's a good thing because we're human. We are human, and we come into your home every day feeling what you feel, knowing what you're facing, and today we can't ask. Again, I can't even tell you how much your prayers will mean to Mary and Grady Anderson. She has now been in surgery 2 hours. We have got to pray for this wonderful lady and this great family. Please continue to pray for them. We will give you an update on Facebook. Hopefully she'll be out of surgery in a couple of hours, and we will let you know what is going on. Thank you for your prayers for us. Thank you for tuning in every day to us and trusting us to bring you information about your community, and more than that, a positive attitude. Sometimes, because these fuel prices, I get a little down. Now, this morning I bought $12 worth of gas. How far do you think $12 is going to get me? But I was making a statement. I don't want to pay these prices.
yeah. I got a Honda. I had to trade in my Saturn. That's how I made mine. It's like,
Oh, Lord, I may get with the pilot, give me a bicycle. But we hope that you don't stay at home and don't be held captive because of the gas prices. Get out, grab a bunch of friends, do something that's fun, and don't give up. Don't ever give up on life.
you can't.
You can't.
And I think your attitude, that pretty much fuels everything you do in life.
Everything you do. And
or
once
bad.
again, Jennifer's package is ready. I saw that for the Miners' Memories.
Yes. So you can call Karen at 276-9877. That's ETC3 number. And we just sent out press releases to all the papers, so hopefully they'll be running those as well. And they'll also have my number and email on there. They're $100 for 11 episodes or $25 for individual episodes.
Great gift for Mom and Dad as we approach Mother's Day and Father's Day. There you go. From North Georgia Now Today, I'm going to do something we never do. We never say goodbye. From North Georgia Now Today, I'll be back tomorrow. I hope you will be too. Only on ETC3. Don't touch that dial. Here comes my buddy, Rich Scott.
Parked down on Lover's Lane, steaming up his own heat. Two lovers stare up at the stars. somewhere in the lights below. Two houses all aglow. Parents wonder